Record to the cloud. There we go. So I don't know if this is our 6th week. I think it is. I am Andrea Goeglein. This is the Unicorn Challenge follow-up. And it is just my way of staying in touch with those who are playing with the challenge right now to get into that continual learning mode. And as you'll learn, or if you've seen already, the points we're up to by point 30, we are rinse and repeat for a very good reason. So I want to welcome you all today and start with my standard question. You know, what is stopping you? What's helping you move forward? Who would like to go first? Don't rush.
So you said the first one was what is stopping?
Yep. What's stopping you? So know that everyone at this point has their dump list. So I will ask, not knowing, do you have your dump list?
I do. The one of like things you want to accomplish, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And we're at the point where actually you're going to be redoing that again, because about every 30 days, I recommend that you just step back and say, ask that infamous question, is this important to me? We put stuff on this list, and the answer could very well be yes, but not now. And you could put a little date to it, but the more you relieve yourself of the illusion that everything has to get done and focus on those things that you want to focus on the most, the more you get done. So the question is, of those things you want to get done, is there a hurdle?
Yeah, so there was for me recently. So I've been revamping some like I'll give out like free buyer guides and stuff like that. But I wanted to revamp them because I was working with another agent and he showed me his, and his was like, like it had all the logos and all the stuff, right. And I kind of threw mine together. So I know overthinking, yes. Or trying to have like, oh, I want to have the perfect logo with the perfect font and the perfect color, and I wanted to blend all together, and I wanted to be the certain amount of pages and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, you know what? Just sit down and rewrite one. Just rewrite one and add what you need to add, take out what you need to take out, and then, work on the logo and then add that puppy to it. And, chat's done. So,
yes, and thank you for saying those infamous words. Just do one. Just do one. That's the thing we forget. We'll hear it a lot. Janice is a writer, and we will hear it a lot when it comes to writing. And I've got a writer's block. And I recently heard someone say there is no such thing as a writer's block. Either the minute you write a word, you are no longer blocked. And it is getting rid of, and that's a lot of how we speak to ourselves, which was definitely one of the things that we've covered already. When we declare, I have a writer's block, you've got a writer's block. If you write the sentence, I do not have a writer's block, you're actually writing. I know that it seems artificial, but better artificial than nothing at all. So that,
yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, no.
Go ahead, my little writer.
Yeah, my lead in. So it's funny when you say if not now, when, right? Because I'm in my twilight years, kind of, or approaching them.
Don't get me started. We're not going to go on that topic. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying, I don't think I can. Yeah, maybe that's not for me right now. I get it. I understand. So for me, always the two things that hold me back, same old, judgment. Like, I think something's a great idea, move forward, then another little voice comes in, well, I don't know, other people might not think so, and who am I trying to please, myself or them, right? and prioritizing for me, because I can get so much done if a task is given to me for another person. But the moment I do something for me, that's when things kind of slow down. So, those are my, and I've
Okay,
been working on it.
wait. I need
Go
you
ahead.
because I'm hoping I will remember the two things that you just said. One of them is that, you get started and then you judge yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask you, is it judgment, or is judgment that storyline that you judge yourself become the comfortable excuse that you use?
Yeah,
And
there's that
that it
word
is
again.
now the red flag that says, oh, when all I have to do is commit to the one thing that will get me closer, you have to commit to focus on one thing. So you've got to be willing to give up the storyline of judgment, because all things we identify as things that hold us back are information the first time and BS from that moment on.
That's true. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the second thing you said, but I wanted to always hold up whenever someone even mentions the twilight years to me. Dr. Gladys wrote this at 102 years old. She does her
Wow.
Instagram. She's now 103. She does her Instagram every day with videos talking about the topics. Again, putting a tag on a phase of your life. Even good. Oh, my life is so great. Like, what we have to do, the self-talk we have to back up, is nuancing down those words to a point that what you are saying, even if you say it, Janice, you know me, I'm into the raw dump. You have to say it, the quote unquote truth of your thinking at least once. It's what you do with it from that point on.
Right.
Now,
Correct.
Judith, where are you? Ha ha!
By the
Little
way,
Miss Kickstarter.
thank you for your support, Andrea.
You're very welcome.
Well, in my meditation this morning, I got hit over the head with, you are thinking way too small. So
I like it.
Wow.
okay, now I know where I need to be putting the money. So I am remembering the day that the Academy of Country Music and AFLAC awarded me the Lifting Lives Award at the ACM awards ceremony, and reminding myself that I actually have a lot of connections
Yes.
that will recognize that and remember that, and that that I just need to focus attention on the bigger picture.
Yep.
And going to that.
And, it's very interesting that you say that. So your work, I was at a gala the other night for Down syndrome, and they were flashing on the screen therapeutic programs that have been showing great promise. And one of them was a music program.
Well, I started the very first music therapy program with the Down syndrome organization.
Okay. And so the presence of your work was with me. The other thing I just keep having come back is that there is money in the granting pool, that when you partner with a nonprofit that has the need, branding what you're doing towards them initially will take that ship off. There just seems
We've already Yeah, we've already done that and
have.
successfully accessed grant funds.
Great.
Unfortunately, there's some grant hiccups federally with the
Oh,
state of Nevada, where state of Nevada, Department of State of Nevada, as well as all nonprofits in state of Nevada, received no funding from this grant situation with federal. This just happened this fall. There's a lot of people
I've
hurting
heard that
because-
more than once. I've heard that a bit. I've heard that a bit.
Yep.
So
yep.
you've got a piece of information during your meditation. And as everyone knows, quiet time, reflection. We had the privilege of having Nassara and her husband with us at Thanksgiving. And I was so gratified when we went around the table of what are you grateful for? He was grateful that he had found a place, a church that was bringing him closer to God. And as you know, meditation is one of those ways. Prayer and meditation is definitely one of those ways where that happens. So when those messages come, I think I heard you say, you know what you need to do. Is that what I heard you say? Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing how you think you're thinking big and you're not. You're not thinking big enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the next thing that I will say to you is make sure you take a step towards what you think you need to do. If it's reaching out to those contacts, I love, if any of you have not seen the ad that Judith has, or it was it part of your Kickstarter? Where did I see? I know it's on YouTube.
Which one? Oh, the actual
Aflac
little...
Award. Yes.
Okay. Oh, with the duck.
Yes. And that country western award, I think that piece is so great and it describes very well what the recognition the work that you've created has done. Yeah.
Thank you. I should be sharing that more.
You should be sharing that more. It has a really good feel to it vibrationally from my, like I remembered seeing it, and I had remembered seeing it briefly when it occurred, but there was something about rewatching it. The clip feels really good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. So that's the kind of stuck parts. The next part is what's working. Janet, you're not allowed to say nothing. No. And you've got to unmute if you say something.
Well, I'm sorry. I muted because there was some background noise that I thought you might be picking up. So,
so what's working?
Oh man, there's a lot of stuff that's working. Actually, just showing up and doing it. Like if like what you said earlier, if you want to write. It's a hobby of mine. And why would I stop myself from doing something that I enjoy doing? Right? It's almost like, oh my gosh, just give yourself permission to have fun. Not everything has to be for $1, to show up as a checklist where you're productive today. Fun can be productive.
Yeah.
And,
so that was who I interviewed yesterday.
Oh, did you interview her? Great.
I did. We're having the subtitle company is having a problem for some reason. So I'm a little delayed on where I am. But the last two authors that I interviewed, one worked, the other one worked more deeply in the actual research, the fun habit. And really is very research oriented as to it. And then Elaine's book has the first section where what you just said, Janice, is what the science is showing us, what we know. It takes that shower aha moment to a very different level, because when ideas and possibilities come to you and solutions come to you after you've been playing softball or, you know, doing something that you didn't expect to do and you had a lot of fun, it has such a gratifying feeling. But what we don't do is connect that it was that major release and putting your attention somewhere else that allowed the solutions or the ideas to come up. And that's why, I mean, the whole unicorn thing for me was my way of adding play into the work that I do. And the justification is so solid in the science to find your thing that makes it more playful. Like Nasara, with your videos, having your dogs all of a sudden start showing up in these videos would be a way to do that, because I know the dogs bring you enormous pleasure. And Judith, there are ways that, you know, sometimes when you teach play, and I remembered a drumming circle that you did, and I bought a meditative drum for our grandson for Christmas. He's not going to be watching the video, so I don't have to worry about that. And what children, the observation of what children do is they learn the best because they're playing the most. Yes, developmentally, they're stretching, but there's also because their brains are not being constrained by the rules moment by moment. And that's the whole part. Like, we've made it through the first 30 days and there's a major repeat. And, you know, one of the tips was to mentally or physically challenge ourselves and pick one area to, and I actually, every time I think about picking an area physically, I am reminded of a movie that Janice directed me to called Naiad, about the swimmer.
Did you watch it?
From Cuba to Key West. It's on Netflix currently. I don't know how long it will be. And I sat on the couch and I was said to my husband, you know, I don't have an ounce of that in me. I don't, in my 60s, want to see how far, but psychologically, I was impressed beyond belief of how our understanding of what a 64-year-old is capable of. And then this woman swam from Cuba to Key West, 110 miles. And the amount of training, like, that was one of the many things that intrigued me, the amount of training that she put her body through to be able to sustain all these, you know, days in the water to do it. And I remembered how many times I complained after maybe 4 or 5 straight days of a lot of walking and a lot of exercise. And I wondered how much of it was just mental, that if I was inspired. So then that's the second part. Choose something that inspires you. My thing is, I really want to add a few nights a week evening meditation. I'm perfect on my morning, setting aside X amount of time to be quiet and use either sound or guided meditations or just silence. Every time this year that I have tried to start the evening, and I use the excuse that they want me to sit in a chair instead of lay in bed. If I could find a meditation that would let me lay in bed, I would do it. So my stretch, I'm telling all of you, is that by the time we meet again for our last session, I will have done at least one night where I did the meditation. So that's my stretch. And I don't know if anyone else would like to put a stretch out there, since that is part of the section. That's number 28 in the list. Don't get too silent.
Yeah. I will have completed, I'm writing my story. I'm writing a Christmas gift really for my daughters for this unicorn, to develop the good habits. So
Great.
I will have finished my at least one chapter. Right now it's all in outline and notes.
Okay.
So the follow through.
Okay.
I'll present it. I promise I'm going to bring it up and
Okay.
show everybody.
That's great. That's great. And Judith or Nasara, anything? You
Well,
don't?
I'm going to say that I really need to dedicate the daily, having a 4-year-old
Yes. Yes.
who realizes that mommy's awake early
Yes. Yes.
doesn't really allow me to. So it's just figuring out how to make it really easy where she does not sense me being awake.
Right.
Another part of the house is amazing how she clues into that. So dedicated daily. I like the reflection part, not only in the evening, but also in the morning.
Well, and I'm going to tell you one hint that I remember from my baby days, and every so often, I still get up early enough when Arrow's here because I take him in the mornings, but I still am up early enough, and that it's only a time thing. But I used the toilet, and I did. I remembered having Dana and thinking, this is the one place that they don't find me, and whoever they are in your house. And, then it's the shorter times. But again, it's the discipline of putting yourself first. And that's really what finding that time is about, is another, cellular stretch towards putting yourself first. Yeah.
I will consider that as a last alternative.
As the last alternative. I get it.
She finds me there too.
Yeah, now that I do know that to be so, especially at 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
each passing moment, it does change how much you can get away with. Nasara, would you like to contribute anything?
Yes. So there has been this one training that I have been lagging on for like all year. And I told myself, I really want to get it done before December 1st, because I was just basing it on like, the end of the month, the start of the month. But then I was thinking, you know what? If I say that I could have it done by the next time that we meet again, that's kind of saying pretty much the same thing too. So I'm going to throw that out there. There are a lot of training videos on this, but I was focused yesterday. So
Great.
we'll
Great. Well, keep it going, and know that we have one more check-in in this set of the challenge, and it gets you've gotten through to the fact where we start repeating and then laying the groundwork for finding out where the habits are that aren't working and what has to change, but that it is this continual wheel. And so at this point, just know that putting your thought to the fact that you have a dump list, you have your priorities, and catching whether or not you're judging yourself, because that's what happens from the moment you start those first 3 steps. You start judging that you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And that actually becomes the artificial block. And that becomes the excuse. So the more you can love that you've done the first few steps and then ease back into doing them with play or a recommitment publicly, any technique that works for you, but always make sure that you do it with personal love and that you speak to yourself in a way that inspires yourself versus denigrates yourself and, tells you, you haven't done it. That tends to be the personal block that goes across the board, is that way that we speak to ourselves when we aren't doing what we think we're supposed to be doing. You have shown up. I am grateful for that. Know that we have one more, and I look forward to seeing all of you next week. I am Andrea Goeglein. This is the Unicorn Challenge. Check in, please. Join us if you can. Do a small donation to my friends at Teach for America, Nevada. And I will see you next week. Thank you,
See ya.
ladies.
Bye.
Oh, let me just.